4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? If you hear my voice, then you know what that means. It's time for the Homos Talk Show right here on what? Burst TV. And it's week what? 114. We out here, y'all. Over 2 years strong. Doing it. But you know, your boy Troy Weeks Music is in the building making things move. But it's not about me. Let's talk about my friends in the building. So what? Who else we got in the building today?
What up, people? It's your favorite friend, Mr. Differently Capable.
Woo, woo. That's right. In the building, rocking Burst TV like he always does. Let's do it. So talk to me now. Who else we got in the building? Right. The lady of the night tonight.
Jazz.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Jasmine, right? Okay, cool, Jasmine. Thank you so much. And of course, last but not least, our special guest in the building. Talk to the people, let them know who you are and what's good.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Joshua Henry Jenkins, co-creator of Black is Stuck at Home, and excited to be here.
Boom, 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 just like that. He's in the building, y'all. And he's going to have a one-on-one interview with us as well. So you guys got to go check out our YouTube and go follow us to get all the goods. So without further ado, let's get into what we need to get into, and that's the Homos Tea. So let's get to it. Booyah.
All right. So the first topic is toxic partner facts. You're toxic, not slipping under. Coming from brightside.me. Now, of course, ultimately, getting out of these relationships is an option. Aside from that, when you first notice a pattern of the below behavior, how do you react? How should you react? And part 1 of 12, this partner, a toxic partner, is often indecisive about activities. Yet, when you make the decision, they complain about the experience while in this chosen venue. That's toxic. Part 2 of 12, the desire to spend every minute together in an attempt to control all of the minutes. And where Aaron is asking, where is the mutually happy dating togetherness medium? Aaron Mack really wants to know, and that's true. I really want to know, where's the happy medium? 12 of 12. The partner accidentally, intentionally schedules partner activities at times that they know you've scheduled get together with friends of yours. Troy, take it away.
All right, well, this should definitely be interesting. I'm super excited to hear what people have to say about this. But of course, I'll start with myself. So remember, it's going to be in these situations, in these toxic situations, how do you react personally yourself, and then how should you react? So number 1 says, partners often indecisive about activities, yet when you make decisions, they complain about the experience while in the chosen venue. How would I react? First of all, I gave you an option to make a choice, and you didn't. So clearly, you were cool with whatever we were going to do. So if we showed up here, and not on top of that, I'm going to give you options. I'm not, even on Tuesday, I'm going to give you 2 options. So if I give you 2 options, and those 2 you can't make a choice, and that's not good enough, we're not even going to make it to the venue, friend, because that's what I'm going to do. Leave you right where you at, because that's too much. You already stressing me out. We're supposed to be depressing and having a good time, and you make it stress. No, I'm good.
Okay.
What you should do, if someone's doing that, is, just kindly, I guess, tell them, I did give you a choice and you didn't make a choice. So just, respect the choice I gave you, respect the choice that I gave, and just, let's deal with it and let's go with it. That's what you should do. I'm really with that. I think that's the proper way. Number 6 in the 12 says the desire to spend every minute together in an attempt to control all of the minutes. What would I do? First of all, these are my minutes, and I'm in control of my minutes, and that's on period. So If you're trying to control my minutes and not allow me to create time and space for us, then we have a problem. I don't like feeling like I'm forced to do anything because I'm a grown man. I make decisions for myself. So if you forcing me to do something, I feel forced. It's not gonna be a problem. What you should do is kindly let this person know you need some space for your own time and your own minutes too. Don't let nobody control your minutes. I'm gonna give a fuck who out there you listening. Don't let nobody control your minutes because they're what? Your minutes. Your being you.
Amen.
The question I was, thrown in there is where is the mutual happy dating togetherness medium? I think the happiness medium is when both people understand who they are as individuals first. When you understand who you are and they understand who they are, baby, the connection that can happen between two people that are on the progressive rise up as individuals alone, togetherness can be even more great. But you got to be able to know yourself first and then know yourself to be able to have together happiness. That's why I feel like the medium is in the middle. And the last, number 12 of number 12, toxic, is the partner accidentally, intentionally, I'm saying that again, schedules partner activities at times that they know you schedule get-togethers with your family or friends. I am an entertainer. I host events. I do podcasts and YouTube shows like this, right? I already have stuff scheduled. So if you're trying to tell me on Monday night you want to hang out, guess what's going to happen? You might even get cussed out. And I don't have the energy to normally do that. But week 114, I've been doing the damn Homo Stock Show on Monday nights. And you're going to have the audacity to try to schedule something on a Monday? How dare you? Guess what? The dog! That's exactly how I feel. Because if you're not with what I'm doing and understanding where I'm trying to grow in my life, then you don't belong there. You don't belong there. What should you do if that is the proper way? Is just kind of let them know you crossing into my personal time. You know you're messing up. Don't do it again. Boundaries. You gotta let people know how to treat you. Because if you don't let the people know how to treat you, they're gonna do whatever they want to. And if they do it one time and they get away with it, guess what? They're gonna try to do it again. And then if we don't give it to them, they're gonna pout, shout, and do everything else around the corner to try to get you to do what they want you to do and start changing you from who you are and your individuality to now try to make you, be one with them. That's not the way to do it. That is toxic, and that's my answer to the toxicity of all the foolishness that we happened in this article that we read. So, without further ado, I'm going to move things along. I'm going to ask my co-host here, Mr. Differently Capable, the same thing. When it comes to these questions, how do you react and how should you react? First question, number 1 from 12 is, the partner is often indecisive about activities, yet when you make decisions, they complain about the experience about in the chosen said venue. How should you and would you?
Okay, well, before I start answering these questions, I'm gonna make it clear. I was in a toxic relationship, so I should know the answers to this.
Ooh. Come on.
Okay. So when you're trying to make a decision with a person that is toxic, you have to have them. For them, you have to be in your mind and your thought, and every single plan, it's all about them, and include them on those plans because they always want to know. But in the end, it's because they want to make sure that you're there. So they're trying to control. So it's a big issue when it comes to toxicity. Sorry for my slurs. But for me, it was more of making sure that he knew about the plans and that he was fine with all the plans in the end. And that was basically for him, because if it was for me, I would just jump into the first place to go and just explore, because that's how I am. I like to go out and explore and just let the day go the way it should go. So, but no, everything had to be, and it was just a form of control.
So how should you react in a situation like this?
How should you react? Sometimes you got to give them control when it comes to the problem, but then you lose yourself. That's the whole issue, because that's what they want. They want you to turn to them. And that's it. It's a big issue.
Well, so first, I'm going to change things up a little bit. I know I ran through all 12 of them because I like to talk, but I'm going to give you guys examples. So now I'm going to stop right here and go on to while the kettle is hot. I want to keep going on number 1, and I'm going to come back to you again. So I'm going to ask you the same thing, Jasmine. Well, before I go there, differently capable. You're gonna write a book about this. Get ready, write that book, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Jasmine, and it comes to number 1 of 12. When you have a partner that is indecisive about the activities, yet when you make the decision, they complain about the experience while they're in the venue with you. How would you react if that was you? And what should you do? Outside of what would you do, what should you do?
Could you ask again? It's 2 questions, right?
Yes, it's number 1 from the 12 list of toxic ways to spot toxicity in relationships before they come. So if you have a partner who is someone who can't, make decisions, and you have to be the one to make the decision for them, when you make the decision, they complain about it. What would you do?
I guess say I have to make the decisions, and I did the best I could. If they don't like the decision, then try to change it and do it on their own.
Okay. And how should you do it? So that's how you would do it. Is there another way you think it should be done, or you think that's good?
I don't know. Like I mean, that's the main way, like how to go about. But while going about it, like do it in the nice way while going about it. To be
Okay.
specific.
Okay, makes sense. All right, cool. All right, now someone will Sir Joshua right now, number 1 of 12. Partners often indecisive about activities, yet when you make a decision, they complain about it while they with you at the venue.
So I'm just gonna start by saying I am the indecisive person usually. So like
Ouch.
so that's the problem. I'm self-aware enough to know that I am the problem sometimes where I am indecisive. The problem with it though is I don't complain about it. I just kind of own that I should have said something versus complaining about it. I think when you have somebody who is like outwardly indecisive and like, oh, I don't really care, and then they care a whole lot, I'm like, that's a red flag. It seems like an insecurity thing popping up. Like, I don't feel comfortable speaking my mind, but when I do, it's the most important thing. So you should have known something that I didn't feel comfortable communicating to you, which is like a non-negotiable. So for me, I mean, I feel like how I would react is especially if I'm sitting opposite of somebody who's indecisive, is I would, you have to like question those things in the moments. Like, well, why didn't you speak up like the first time around? But I'm sure there's a lot more care and attention of how you should react, but I don't really have the patience for all of that. So I think it's like at this point, I'm in my 30s and I don't really have time to teach anybody how to tell me what they want. You know what
I ain't came, Michelle.
Hey, man.
That was good. I like that. Okay. All right, now, so number 6 of 12, the second one. I'm gonna go to differently capable again. The desire to spend every minute together and attempt to control all of your minutes. What would you do? How would you react, and how should you react?
No, just don't do it. Don't give him every single second, minutes, decimal of your day. Like it's wrong. It's wrong because then they end up being codependent to you.
Hello.
And you lose exactly by being codependent. You have to be by their side 24/7. You lose yourself. You don't want to lose yourself. And I'm sorry, when that happens, what should you do? Is leave him. Leave him or her. It both ways. It goes both ways. It doesn't have no gender. It goes both ways.
He, she, them. All of them.
Exactly. So leave bye-bye. Next. I'm just saying it.
All right now. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go to Jasmine. Jasmine, she wrote it. I can read it. I guess I'll just read it because she wrote it. But it says, Jasmine says, in regards to the desire to spend every minute together and attempt to control all your minutes. She says, I'm a benefit of doubt type of person. Initially, if I have interest, people will always show you what they really want or not when it comes to you. Eventually, I will withdraw completely from it. Clearly, that's a person is consistently indecisive about activities with me. You should recognize the red flags early on when dealing with a toxic person and cut them off immediately. Your time should be as valuable to your partner as it is to you. All right, Jasmine. Got
right.
you. Okay. She said what I said. Okay,
I
girl.
said what I said.
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna go to Joshua and ask you the same thing. And someone wants to spend all their minutes with you to control all your time. What would you do? And what should you do?
Ooh, I'm an only child, so I'm used to my time, and so I really don't like. I don't like being all up on somebody all the time, 24/7. Like, be it my mama or my best friend or a romantic partner. So like, I can kind of leave that alone. I do think it's important that people have those kinds of conversations early on, though, like to understand like what is your expectation and what feels comfortable for you, because and when I'm dating somebody, like we can see each other twice a week and I'll probably be content for a little while until we move to another level. But like some people, they want every day, all day. And I'm not really sure that that's like my kind of thing. But again, if you don't have the conversation about it, how am I supposed to know that that's not something you like versus vice versa, whatever. So I feel like, it should always be a conversation up front sooner rather than later versus before it becomes a problem. But if somebody still feels the need to be up under you 24/7, then it feels like they have some kind of thing they got to work through about why they need to be like, what is the trust problem? Is there a trust problem here that you can't, you can't have separate identities? We always got to be together. We always got to occupy each other's space and time. Like that doesn't feel comfortable to me.
Right. Well, let's see. Having the conversation and things like this is what puts us in a different place to be able to have understanding. Some people have never had that conversation. And now, listening to the things that we're saying, we're able to be that catalyst and be the voice and be able to help, other people. It seems like we all have different representations of, these situations. So this is why we do this. So when you said it, I'm indecisive when I'm like, oh, but I think when I was saying what I was saying, you were agreeing with some things I was saying. So you understood, like, at least if I gave you two options, you would be cool with it, so I'm cool with it all. Like, I get it, but some people don't understand. Like, they'll get really mad about it. Like, it's too deep. All right. So when it comes to that question, before we get to the last one, is this: mutual happiness, dating, togetherness. Where's the medium of mutual happiness when dating? Differently capable.
Where's the mutual happiness when there's communication? When you communicate with each other and understand and respect each other's boundaries and are able to have that unity to create a good relationship, then that's when everything's going to come into place. In the meantime, work on you.
Okay. All right, cool. Miss Jasmine. Keep it simple, right? Mutual happiness, mutual happy dating togetherness. Where's the medium? What do you say the medium is?
Mutual happiness?
Mutual happiness, togetherness when dating, yeah. What do you see that? Where's the medium for you?
I'm like, I don't know how to see it. Like, easy on, I'm like a lot of people, like, like, I mean, I don't know, it depends, but I mean, I probably like most things that like a lot of people like, but I mean, I guess if you're doing something or you like something I don't like, I won't go about it in a certain way by letting you know. Like, I guess, like, if that's what we're talking about, like, I would, and I can like avoid it in a way, or say something and be like, I'm not interested in this, or I don't want to go like a certain place. You're like talking about the mutual happiness, right? So yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, we do have one more quick question before we change the topics and get to something a little more intense. It's just number 12 of 12 on the list. The partner intentionally schedules partner activities all the time that they know that you guys should be. All the times when you have your get-togethers with your friends or your personal time, they're always invading your space and trying to plan things during those times. What would you do differently capable?
The boundaries, baby. Boundaries with a capital B. You know
Just
what I
put my
mean?
fan
Right on the
out on that
forehead.
one.
Right on the damn forehead. Stamped out. It's called boundaries. You don't, you got your space. I got my space. Your family don't need to be in my space. You know what I mean? So, yeah, boundaries. And again, if there's communication and you guys are in that middle ground where you're both working it and that balance both of you, then he should be able to understand that there's going to be boundaries too. And it comes from both sides, from my family and his family.
Right. That's definitely
And
true.
whatever times he's trying to make me busy, look at my schedule first and then tell me.
Period. We got Google Calendar now. It's easy. We can share calendars. Don't tell me you don't know you made a mistake, because then we have a problem. But you're not paying attention, and it costs them money to pay attention this week. You got a problem now.
Exactly.
You're missing the small details. If you can't
Amen.
handle the small things, then the big things are gonna be a big problem for you. So guess what, baby? Get off the train. I'm good. Next. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go to you, Jasmine. This is number 12 from 12 on the list. What would you do if your partner accidentally, well, not accidentally, they actually schedule partner activities during times when you already have things planned with your family, with your baby, with your friends? What would you do?
I would say, oh, I didn't know that you had this planned, and then if I could, I mean, depends on how many. If it's like, I can do half and half, so I can like go to like some with them if I can, but if not, then I just go to my scheduled ones or half and half. So yeah. But I'd be like, I didn't know you had this scheduled. Next time, tell me in case,
Gotcha.
you
Next
guys.
time,
Yeah.
let me know. Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, now I know that was a lot to get out, but it was definitely entertaining and definitely interesting. Learn a little bit about all of you in this moment. All right, cool. So, Aaron, we're gonna move things right along to question number 2, topic number 2 of Homeworld's Tea. Let's do it. Aaron Mack, are you there? Powers that be? Your microphone's on mute. If you can hear me.
Yep, I know it is. Joshua, you went, right? For the last one?
The last one, yeah, I answered a couple of them, yeah.
Oh, the last one. Oh, number 12, you mean? Is that what you're saying? Oh, sorry. Oh, maybe we didn't get Josh's response to that one? Oh, maybe that's what he said. Yeah, we might have missed you on that last one. That's number 12 of 12 on the list. That's what he's saying. Okay, let's go back.
Oh, okay.
So your partner intentionally, accidentally, but intentionally schedules partner activities at times they know you have things scheduled already with your family and friends, things like that. What would you do?
I would run, and you should run.
So fast.
Okay.
I just think that's disrespectful. Like, if you know I'm about to spend quality time with my friends, then and you still choose, that seems like a jealousy thing or something. There's something else at play there, and that seems like a real reason to run quickly.
That was some great advice. You just got right to the point, like a scripture in the Bible, okay? Right to it. Open up the book in Ephesians. Right. I love that advice. If someone's out here trying to get your time and your energy and scheduling things in your calendar that's already got things scheduled, run. Like Pastor said, run. Okay, you good. All right, cool. So now we've officially answered our first topic, and now we'll move over to our second topic. So yeah, Aaron, let's do it.
All right. It's critical. Coming from Columbia.edu and Fox News. Now, critical race theory seemed to make sense to present multiple perspectives on race topics. It's interesting it's interesting that Team Liberal seems largely against it and Team Conservative is in favor of it. Now, a journalism friend of Aaron Mack said that one thing he didn't like at journalism school was the requirement to present multiple perspectives as equally valid, even when the other perspective is, quote, ridiculous, end quote. Now, he referenced the black and white sides of slavery shouldn't be taught as equivalent viewpoints. In a nutshell, where do you stand on CRT, critical race theory, which has both sides presented as equally valid sides? And why? Troy, you've got it again.
Well, all right. I'm always an advocate for education and learning. If that's for you. I mean, college isn't for everybody. If you sometimes God has given you certain things that you don't need to go to school for, and you do what it is He called you to do. Outside of that, we go to school. That's what you choose to do. But in this day and age of time, we didn't learn a lot of things we needed to learn back then because they didn't want to present certain things to us because they didn't want to tell the truth about what they did and how they did it and the reality of that for us. Because the thing is, most of us in the schools are teaching us, and these programs that are teaching us in the public schools and things like that, if we had the power to really know and ask questions that we should be asking versus just doing what they tell us to do and learning what they tell us, then we would have been way more free thinkers a long time ago when it comes to us as a people. And so I feel like you can't present a story about things being equal. White people ain't never been enslaved. So you can't tell me that there's equal sides to why they did it. Oh, it was in the Bible, they did it back in the day. Okay, and are you thinking the Bible is not, it's a guide of life for you. It's not supposed to be exactly set in stone. So you can't tell me that that fight was the same. When you can go into any place as a white person and have white privilege and you even got $2. But because of your privilege, they won't ask you a question, but they'll ask a minority. I will ask us a question or anything based on I'll look, but they don't know how much money we got in our pocket. So it's like, it's not equal. And so we need to be having these conversations, and I'm glad that this is being publicly brought up because it's causing our young people now to think differently. Now we didn't have a choice because we had to focus on that textbook learning, but now things are different with the internet. So now their minds have to expand and be different. Even our young kids nowadays are so fast with the technology and the swiping to go, and they learning everything so fast, YouTube and TikTok. So it's like, this is the world we live in. Get with it. So if it's gonna make change in the world and the minds and invoke change in the minds of our young people, that's all I care about because the youth are the future of tomorrow. So that's what really matters. If you over 30 and you still lost, you know what I'm saying? I'm praying for you. Get it together because tomorrow's not promised to nobody. We lost so many people during COVID, but no matter not old, young, no matter what, a lot of people, we lost a lot of people. So life is not promised to nobody. Live your life. But stand in your truth because you only got your truth to tell. And so I'm going to move along and switch the order in the sense now. This one, I'm going to go with Joshua on this one. In a nutshell, in regards to what we talked about, where do you stand on CRT and why?
So critical race theory is interesting to me. I think it's necessary. I think we got to be having tough conversations about race beyond. Well, let's be very clear first and foremost. The school systems don't even get the history part of it right or complete, so it's really difficult to go deeper and start to understand race from systemic levels when we can't even tell. Like, people still don't know about Tulsa. People still don't know about all of these things. People barely even knew what Juneteenth was. White folks didn't know what Juneteenth was until it became a national holiday.
Talk about it.
So it's really difficult to, with critical race theory, have deeper conversations about systemic level oppression without even having a complete history to understand how it's shown up over time. So I feel like it's a bit twofold. But all that being said, is I think critical race theory is important because we got to teach people young how to have conversations about the world that they live in.
Right.
And we can't talk about we can't just talk about prisons and not talk about the history of why prisons are here and who they are meant to marginalize and who they're meant to, affect. Like, we can't have these kinds of big conversations without understanding the hundreds of years of how it got there and the level of thinking we have to put behind it is why critical race theory is important. Otherwise, white people can go their whole lives and not have to examine any of these things and benefit from it. So I don't know. I think critical race theory is necessary. I think it's interesting that people want to talk about it like already in elementary school, which is I think why these Republicans and why a lot of these conservative folks are kind of like creating laws against it and all this other kind of stuff, because they're scared that people are going to have to talk about how horrible white people have been to people of color in this country.
Hello.
To their 5-year-old. They're like, no, you got to be grown before we can talk about that stuff. But you really do need people to learn that stuff early.
I agree. Sorry, I'm so over these goddamn firecrackers. If they don't cut it out, I'm gonna pour water all of them. I'm so sick of them. Sorry. Had a moment. Anyway, thank you so much for that, Joshua. Appreciate it. You helped me also understand it in a different way too. So thank you. Yeah, definitely capable. What do you stand on critical race theory and why?
Critical race theory. It's a very necessary class. Everyone should be taking it. It doesn't matter if you're Black, Asian, white, Hispanic, you should be taking it because there's a lot of information there. I don't really want to get it so much into because you guys put your perspective, and as a person that has studied this type of class, there's so much that a lot of people don't understand and probably will never understand because sometimes they can be closed-minded and not realize all the oppression and how things trickle down for the same community to keep being oppressed till today. So I will say that slavery, there was a lot of different types of people in slavery. And I'm not gonna lie, there has been people in white countries that have been enslaved, like Ireland. People from the Irish were actually enslaved. Polish have been enslaved, but the difference between them from the Black community is that the white slaves were liberal. They were liberated, and there were no terms of slavery after that. They were able to buy land and have slaves after that. So people to say, "Oh, but I had family that were ancestors that were slaves." Yeah, but your oppression ended before our oppression did. And we are still being oppressed. So yeah, some people need to start really opening a book, understanding a little bit more because there's more history to this, and ignorance is bliss, and you got to erase it.
Definitely Luther King. All right now, you better come on with it. Okay? Gave it to us, okay? That's what I'm talking about. All right. Jasmine, critical race theory, talk to me. Where you stand on and why?
What's the question?
Critical race theory. The topic that we were talking about is critical race theory. Where do you stand on it and why? Having conversations about race or being equal. What do you stand on that? What do you think about that?
Not sure. I think they should teach it. Wait, yeah, but everything that we were taught.
Say the last part one more time. I don't know if you can hear.
1 minute, sorry, I had an emergency. I think they should. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think they should teach everything we was taught in school and the critical race theory.
Okay. I just want to make sure you ended. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So that has been our 2 topics for our homos tea. Very 2 different spectrums. But I do think that we definitely hit it on the nail and was able to open some eyes to each other and to people out there watching. So if you guys like what you see and you want to be a part of the conversation, please like, comment, subscribe. Let the people know we're doing it because this is week mark 14 and we're still doing it. I appreciate you guys being a part of it. But if you want to really know what the rest of the tea is and get into our main topics, you do have to follow us on YouTube and on Instagram to be able to see it, because we don't just do this visually. It's on YouTube, and we also have a podcast. So check us out, guys. But Aaron's gonna read our one of the first main topic of the night for our main topic of the night. Let's do it, Aaron.
Everything Troy said is absolutely right. And here comes the homo's euphemism. Now, music in our generation has often used the word sex and the word love interchangeably. For example, love me harder, baby. Love me by the counter. Love me in the car. Love me on the linoleum. Love me hard. Now, Aaron Mack does understand the purpose of radio-friendly euphemisms for hardcore sex. However, might such lyrical code language be slightly distorting our understanding of actual love? And is there a better way? If so, what, Troy?
Well, I first of all feel like it is distorting our understanding of actual love, because people start to listen to those words that are written and put it into perspective. Love me on the counter, you know what I'm saying? And then when they, sex is sex, you want to get a little freaky, love me on the counter. Like we all think, immediately we're going to think about it. Song gonna come into our head,